When creating art, it is very important to think about value. Value is the lightness or darkness of a color. Light reflects off of all objects, and therefore there are shadows and dark spots, and those are called values. And when the lights are off, without light, we can't see. And so it's important to think about value. You can make a value scale to create a successful work of art. You can even create one or more and then use it to be sure your artwork has a full range of value. So this is an example of a basic value scale with a simple drawing, just regular number 2 pencil that I have. I divided it up with the middle, in the very middle, to make a medium tone, and then 8 spots across. On the farthest side, I did the dark, and you watched me layer dark, dark, dark many times with pencil, and every box going over got lighter and lighter. This is me applying different pressures and different layers of the pencil lead to make the different values. Now from the middle to the light side, these are called tints, or the light versions of the color. From the middle to the other side is called the shades. This is the dark parts. Tints and shades are important to know. You can remember them because shade has an A like dark and tint has an I like light. Now, when you're making value scales and thinking about creating value, I did that first one with a regular pencil, but this one is done with drawing pencils, where you can apply the same amount of pressure when you're drawing, but you're just using a different drawing tool. So I labeled all my drawing tools, accidentally did one extra box, but I'm going to use the same pressure to fill them in, just with the different densities of graphite. So 6B is darker, and then 4B, and so on. They get lighter and lighter as I go down. This is a way that I can make my art have value just by changing out and using the different kinds of drawing pencils I have, or not drawing at all, leaving a white spot like at the 0. When you're also thinking about value, you can use special drawing techniques like this one called hatch. Hatch is just where you create lines to make the filled in area. You can create more lines to make it darker, or further apart and less lines to make it lighter. Crosshatch is the same thing, except for you have lines that go on top of each other and in different directions. Again, the dark lines, to make the dark area, just a lot of lines, lots of directions on top of each other. Medium, just a little bit less. Now, stipple is a fancy word that means to just fill in your area with dots. It's a great way to give unique textures, like for skin or something else in your art. And you could see a lot of dots close together makes dark, and a few dots spread apart makes light. The last one I want to talk to you about looks like scribbling, but it's actually called scumbling. That's the fancy art word, scumbling. You can just do more scribbles on top of each other to make dark, less scribbles a little more spread out to make medium, and even less to make light. Scumbling is a great way to do fur texture or fill in any kind of other drawing thing. Now, why in the world would we be talking about value, and how does it apply to art? Well, I'm using this circle and a regular pencil to show you how to add shades to something that is three-dimensional. I can even use the fancy drawing pencils and the same pressure, or even a tiny bit different pressures, to make that circle look spherical. For this last one, I just did the scumbling technique to make it look spherical, and the light was shining on it, which left a blank, empty white spot, and shadows and shades, the tints. This is how the value is applied to art. So in this completed drawing of an apple, you can see how there's really dark parts and really light parts. If we break it apart into a value scale, you can even see better that there's mediums, medium dark, medium dark, medium dark, 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 light, medium light, and so on. I know I'm just making up words, but you can see how there's different value. And here are some examples of artwork that has value. These are examples of artwork that use the hatch, the stipple, and the scumbling. You can see that the values are created and they add a unique texture and design. And then there are also some artworks shown here that just use pressure and probably various drawing tools. Today, I need for you to show me that you can attempt to create a 5-value scale.